SoFi is now about the 220th largest bank in America.
In addition to that, we're seeing an acceleration in the growth of our direct deposit members because we're offering a really high interest rate on checking at 2.5%, and we'll offer 3% on savings later this week. That high interest rates driving high quality account openings. 50% of our new funded accounts are direct deposit, and that results in more spending by them. Our annualized spending is up over 2x versus a year ago because of those direct deposit customers. And then our invest business continues to see really strong year-over-year growth, as well as credit card and Relay. So
with $5 billion in deposits in its first 2 quarters as a bank, SoFi is now one of the top 200 biggest banks by deposits in America. That is a huge deal. 2 quarters. That's all they've had. And they've gotten $5 billion in deposits. They're doing so well that they grew deposits by 86% in the third quarter of 2022. 86%. And that's not all. SoFi Plus is working. SoFi Plus gives customers who do direct deposit with SoFi more benefits, including higher interest rates and more discounts on loans. And that is important to the future and stability of SoFi because that means that as direct deposits grow, they have more deposits that are going to continuously be deposited into SoFi because those people have set up their jobs to send all of their money or some of their money to SoFi to hold for them. And with that, SoFi has more deposits to then use to lend out loans with, which means that their cost of origination, their cost of loans goes down and they can capture more returns on their loans. And it de-risks their loans for them, especially in times of uncertainty as we have now. That is great news for SoFi. That's awesome. And in fact, SoFi reports that in the second quarter of the bank charter existing, which was the third quarter, SoFi Bank National Association generated $29 million in net income at 11% profit margins. And that's on a GAAP basis. So the bank is doing pretty well. JP Morgan Chase has about 25% in their profit margins across the entire board. I haven't looked into exactly what their bank's profit margins are, but across the entire board, they have about 25% in profit margins. So it's pretty good to see that SoFi Bank is doing 11% in GAAP profitability in just the second quarter as they still are figuring things out. So let's get back to direct deposits and how SoFi is continuing to grow that and how it's going to help SoFi continue to grow its business and sustain this rate of growth in deposits, sustain their deposits. Again, $5 billion, which makes them around the 200th largest bank by deposits, somewhere around there, in just 2 quarters of being a bank. What's important to SoFi Bank is that those deposits are reliable, that they're going to continue to come in, that they won't be drained out by life, things going wrong in people's lives, and they have to draw out on their savings and then taking money out of SoFi's coffers, which SoFi cannot use as much of to go originate loans, which means that SoFi's cost of those loans would go up because they don't have as much deposits to use to originate those loans. So SoFi wants to have customers who are reliable savers, who are reliable consumers, who won't need to draw on their savings, which means that they will be able to keep their deposits in there and continue to add to deposits. And the way SoFi knows that is by looking at their median FICO score of their customers, the depositors. And so for Q3, SoFi reports that for their new direct depositors in SoFi Money, the median FICO score is 750. That's very good, exceptional. Those are people who are responsible consumers for the most part, given the credit score. That's all we can judge from, the credit score. That's the system that we operate in. That tells us that those people haven't had much credit issues, haven't had much issues with debt, which means that they won't need to go draw on their savings in hard times because they haven't over leveraged themselves. They haven't missed payments. They're not drowning in debt. And so if things go wrong, they'll have a bit of a cushion, at least judging by the credit score. they'll handle that pretty well, and they won't have to go take out all of their savings from SoFi Bank, which means that SoFi can continue to hold those deposits and add to it over time as they maintain their job. So it's great to see that the median FICO score is very high, which keeps in trend with SoFi's overall business model of serving high earners who have high credit scores, especially for their loans. And SoFi notes that about half of people who set up their SoFi Money account set up direct deposit within the first 30 days. That's 50% of new SoFi Money accounts setting up direct deposit becoming SoFi Plus members in the first 30 days. That's opposed to, and in contrast to, the 37% who did the same in the second quarter of the year. So that means that more people over time are setting up direct deposits with SoFi. And why would they be doing that? Well, maybe because of SoFi Plus. Maybe because SoFi is now putting a very bright light on what the benefits are of direct deposit, which is higher interest rates on your savings and check-ins, and early 2-day paychecks, and you get discounts on your personal loans if you ever need them. So when people see that there's benefits to setting up direct deposits, they set up direct deposit more and faster. It works. The team knows what they're doing. And so when people have all these fears and uncertainties and their doubts in the market about what's going wrong for SoFi and the stock is crashing and they're going to reverse split and all that, I just say, look at the actual business. Look at management. Are they doing what they said they're going to do? Are their plans working? Are they making more money today than they were yesterday? Or do they have plans to make more money in the future than they are today? It's not too much to worry about then. Let the stock do what it's going to do. You can't control that. All you can control is what you believe, what your research says, and your conviction. If you have that, then you can look at the stock price and say, okay, given what I know, what I believe, what my convictions are, is this a good point to buy in and dollar cost average in? Or do I just hold, or do I sell? Make up your mind and you go with that. Or just don't do anything. Just sit back and let things play out for a little bit, and then make a decision in the future, and just keep monitoring. And as I continue to monitor, I see that SoFi is doing exactly what they said they're going to do, and the business is working out pretty well. And so long as they are moving towards their goal of becoming GAAP profitable by 2024, I'm pretty happy with that, because they're growing incredibly fast. They're growing insanely fast. And some guy in my comments yesterday commented that, oh, the growth rate is slowing down. Well, yeah, if you're growing at 300 percentage points year over year, I'm sorry if you only grow at 290 percentage points this quarter, which isn't the case. SoFi actually is growing at 332 percentage points in their revenues.
The real story is it's taken us a while to build out each element of our strategy. It's playing itself out over the last 6 quarters, driving record revenue, overcoming the market volatility and the backdrop of the economy.
So we're seeing that SoFi has been making a bunch of moves in the background, just setting things up so that today it can all play out. Because how do you grow by 4x, more than 4x in a year without setting things up, without taking it slow? And so SoFi learned to walk so that they can run. That's what we've been seeing over the last year or two. They've been setting things up, putting things in play, buying Galileo, buying Technisys, vertically integrating, getting the bank charter. And at all those times, they were underperforming what they knew they could. And then a year later, they 4x, and we're just getting started. The bank charter is doing exactly what we expected, and it's going to continue to do so, and at an increasing rate. I'm loving it. These are great numbers for the bank charter specifically. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and comment. If you want to see more videos about SoFi, then you'll want to subscribe. And of course, share this video with a friend or many friends. I'm Lincoln with bullacademy.org. Thank you again, and have a great day.